All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Persian and the Cowboy podcast. As always, he's the Persian, I'm the Cowboy. And today we're going to be talking about modern parenting and the struggles that parents are facing in today's society. Mr. Persian, I know you have a couple kids yourself.
I do.
You're going to have a lot of input on this. Me as a bachelor, I'm on the outside looking into your world, and it's a scary thing that you guys are dealing with nowadays. So
You're going to be there one day, my friend, and one day very soon. But let me just tell you something. In America right now, with the situation with parenting, things have changed. We have a soft culture right now. Things have changed greatly. I'm going to give you an example of several things. And number one, when I see at the park or at different places, a restaurant or a playground, I see kids misbehaving all the time. And the parents literally do not discipline their children. They give them options now. Oh, you're making a sad choice. Is that a good choice or a bad choice? Just tell the motherfucker straight up, dude, you're misbehaving. Come over here. I'm going to take your toy away. You know, they give them options. There's too many options now for kids. There was a day back in, I'm a child of the 90s like this man, okay? And when we were kids, when we fucked up or we did something, our parents yelled at us. They yelled at us and reprimanded us.
Yeah.
You know, nowadays, you don't see this anymore. Parents don't do it. I give you an example, okay? I was a volunteer at a kids age 4 to 6 T-ball league, okay? Mm-hmm. I was a volunteer coach. The coach had asked me to help because he saw that I was very intrigued and interested with coaching the kids.
Well, baseball is a very deep sport for the Persian culture, right?
Well, I mean, it's not even about that. It's just about I've always had an affinity for coaching, and I think I could make a great head coach one day for sports for my kids. But, so the problem is kids these days are they don't pay attention. They don't fucking listen to a single thing.
What age group are we talking
We're talking about ages 4 to 6.
Age 4 to 6 right now?
Okay. So growing up, I was heavily into soccer and basketball. I played different sports, especially soccer. I had coaches from different backgrounds and ethnicities, but I had a Persian coach when I was in a youth soccer league. It was under 6 years old. This guy made it like into a military style discipline, which I fucking loved.
Yeah.
Okay. Like we didn't listen to him. He made us run laps. Mm-hmm. I'm talking about not just one lap, like 3-4 laps around the field. Okay. Mm-hmm. When we missed shots, when we weren't paying attention, we missed certain, cones, he would make us do it over again. And it not only instilled discipline, but it instilled this kind of like a militaristic approach to discipline.
Well, it's to me kind of outside looking in, not to steal your thunder from your story, but it's just actions have consequences, and I feel like we're teaching a lot of children nowadays that they're in charge of everything in their world, and it's their decision to make and what they want to do when they want to do it. So, anyways, but please continue.
But anyways, so it taught me discipline at a young age. Okay. And it instilled a lot in me when I remember that. And it was such a great thing that he did. But flash forward 30 some odd years later, in this soft world where parents are being ran over by their children verbally, kids get away with anything. We had a bunch of kids that were not listening to the coach, okay? And the coach, great guy, did as much as he could. He was a volunteer. He volunteered at the last minute. He tried to do this, and I think he did a good job, but there were certain things that he could have improved. Mm-hmm. So me as a volunteer, I had told the kids, hey, if you're not going to listen to your coach or me, then there's going to be some consequences. And what the kids were doing, they were playing in the dirt, before they were hitting the ball and practicing their hitting.
Yeah.
They were smashing their baseball bats against each other, like against, like Star Wars style, but on the ground.
Oh, geez.
Okay, and then they were like smashing the baseball bat into the wall and into the wood of the, backstop. Mm-hmm. And we kept telling them over and over again very calmly, guys, don't do this. It's unsafe. So I ended up taking away the bats. And every time the kid went up to bat, I gave them the correct bat. Mm-hmm. So they held it. So that was one of the consequences. But I literally said this in front of the kids. I said, hey, guys, listen, do you guys do this at school? Because your teachers would reprimand you. There are consequences to your actions. Mm-hmm. So you need to listen because we're trying to teach you guys things. And I said, if you're not going to listen, then we're going to run laps around the field. And it's a small field. It's not like, you're going from like one end of the park to the other. It's just around the fucking baseball diamond, okay?
Yeah.
So one of the parents did not like that. took the kid out of practice, did not show up for the game that Saturday, nor the practice the following week, but showed up to the game the following week. Mm-hmm. And she clearly was a Karen. She did not like that. She was a very soft parent. She's one of those parents where let the kid, basically do whatever they want. Let them express
perfect
themselves.
child.
My perfect child. Yeah. They think that their kid is like some sort of like fucking future baseball player. And the kid was a good player. He's got a potential for the future. No question. Mm-hmm. He's a good kid. But the parent's a little wild. So at the end of the day, this lady, exchanged words with me in the dugout. And I had repeatedly told this lady, like, look, don't do this in front of the kids. Let's go to the side away from the children. So the kids luckily slowly went into the field to take their positions. She went off on me, said a few choice words, did not like my disciplinary conduct on her child. And she's like, you cannot discipline my child. I said, look, it wasn't just for your kid. It was just a warning to all the kids. She said I was very threatening. I was very demeaning. And I'm like, I actually been very encouraging towards all the kids and giving them compliments on their hitting, helping them practice. Anyway, she's a fucking nut job.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, she told me to go fuck myself.
Oh, okay.
And then I told her, you can go fuck yourself, and said some other expletives to her. And it became this thing in the dugout and whatever. Anyways, I had to get separated from other parents. But let me tell you guys something. People like this are the reason why our country is losing in every facet. The next generation of kids are fucking spoiled. They're not disciplined. And that's why countries like China are going to steamroll us. Okay? We need to get back to basics in terms of discipline. I'm not talking about beating your child. Mm-hmm. I'm talking about basic discipline. When a child has done something wrong, you have to take a toy away as a consequence. Mm-hmm. Or you ground them. That's how you punish them and explain the situation to them. Now we give our kids too many, stop making the sad choice. Do you think this was a good choice or a bad choice? Motherfucker, it's a sad choice when the kid's throwing sand in some other kid's eye. He's hurting the other child. Take him by the hand and take him out of the park. The motherfucker fucked up, okay? Mm-hmm. So it's like, dude, we are getting way too lax with our children. And then they take these kids when they grow up, they think they can get away with anything. Yeah. And this is a problem. This is a cultural problem, I think, not just in America, but this new generation of kids. They do not fucking listen to anything. They do not listen to basic instructions. And then they say, oh, this kid has ADD or this and that. No, they're just a little shitbag who doesn't listen. You have to teach them discipline. I'm not perfect. I could do a better job as a parent, but let me tell you, when my kids fuck up, I got to lay the law down. Yeah. I'm sorry. They're not my friend. They're my kid. I'm trying to get them prepared for this crazy life that's a jungle out there, and you ain't going to get any handouts. Believe me. It's survival of the fittest.
And I think you said it right there perfectly. You're not, as their parent, you are not their friend. You are their parent. It's your responsibility to prepare them for adult life. And adult life is harsh and a world full of consequences for the actions and decisions that you make as an adult. So yeah, it's wild to me that parents do not see the common thread between just discipline and trying to help their kid grow up in this world. Everyone sees their kid nowadays as just this perfect being that can do no wrong. And I screwed up all the time as a kid. I was failing left and right. I screwed up with school and all kinds of terrible stuff. And I figured it out eventually and made it through college and got my engineering degree. But it was a long, rough process to get there, full of trials, full of consequences, full of fallbacks and all that kind of stuff. But now, we've basically made school something that's so easy that everyone has a 4.0 GPA that's getting into college these days, and then they ace all their tests, they get through all their classes, they ace all their classes. There's no real controversy that they face in their entire life until they get out into the real world and they're realizing, oh shit, I've never failed at anything in my entire life.
You have to, in order to learn. There's going to be failure in life, but from that failure, the way you pick yourself back up is what counts and how you learn. As an example, in sports, and there's many leagues, it doesn't even matter about the age group. They don't even count score anymore.
Oh my gosh.
In certain leagues for various sports. This is competition. America is about competition. The world is about competition. It's not about holding fucking hands. Everybody's a winner. I hate that mentality that they do in sports. Well, everybody's a winner. especially at a young age, when you're learning a new sport, it's about education and learning, having fun, and going out there and exercising. When you get a little older, then you keep score, whatever. But even for the kids who are older, who are like 8, 9, 10, they don't keep score anymore. And it's like, what the fuck is going on? What do you mean you don't keep score? Believe me, China's keeping score and they're knocking on the door. You think they're going to be all like nice with us? Fuck no. But at the end of the day, we've gotten very soft. And I don't know when this happened, whether it's a mid-2000s or 2010s decade.
Yeah.
But it is getting bad. Like, and now you have all these parents. Let me tell you something. A lot of kids are fucking morons, dude. And their parents are doubly a fucking moron. Because when their kid is struggling in school and they bitch and whine to the teacher, why is my kid struggling? Because your kid's a fucking idiot. Has no intelligence up here. They have to work harder and get somewhere to improve. And you blame the teacher for this. Many teachers are great. Some teachers are not great, but many, many, many teachers are excellent. And they should get paid way more than they're getting paid. And they have to deal with these little pricks all day.
Well, and it's sad too. I mean, like I dated a elementary school teacher for quite some time. And, you know, one of the most heartbreaking things for her that she had to deal with on a daily basis was the kid would show up, be wound up and just crazy. And then throughout the day, she'd slowly make progress. The kid would be doing better, be more well-behaved. And then she'd send the kid home, and then the parents would not keep that same discipline regimen and everything like that, and the kid just ran wild. And yeah, every day was a new beginning. And she's like, I'm making progress with this kid, but every time I send him back to his parents or time he takes a vacation with his parents or a long leave of absence with them, he just is so much worse when he comes back. And so it's just heartbreaking to think that like parents are out there just trying to do whatever they think is going to make their kid happy rather than what's going to set their kid up for long-term success in the future too.
Well, I think in the end, I mean, culturally, everything has changed. This softness, you can see it in Hollywood films. You can see it in TV shows, in cartoons. Now, you know, the social breakdown in America is that families don't family anymore. Like, instead of sitting around the dinner table and asking each other how their day was, now you have people always on their fucking phones at the dinner table. This fucking phone literally is a problem. Screens are a problem. These companies want people to be zombies and just look at their phone all day. Okay?
It's true.
So the amount of TV time, the amount of tablet time, screen time, this shit has to be regulated by the parents. They just give the fucking iPad to the kid, and the kid's on there for an hour or two. Granted, I've been in restaurants where my kid has been out of control, and I've reprimanded him. I've given him a little bit of tablet time to calm him down, but it's timed. We're on a timer each time, because if you stick a kid in front of a TV for 2 hours, 3 hours, that's not parenting. And then they're sucked into the world of TV, and it's not good for them.
But I get why parents would do it, though. It's easy. Your kid's going to shut up. It's going to sit there quietly for an hour or two and not make a stink about anything. And, you know, it's easy to just let them go wild on that kind of stuff.
And just as a societal problem, the nuclear family has become almost extinct in America. You don't have families communicating anymore. You don't have families talking about their problems or feelings or things like that. What's going on? You don't have the sit at the dinner table, no electronics policy. Now people are at their phone, literally checking their phone constantly. It's like, dude, put the fucking phone away, put it in a basket for a couple hours, and pay attention to one another. So, and that's a cultural problem. It's a phenomenon. It's not just here in America. It's around the world, too. It's become like this. We've got to get back to the way things were in the past. Family time is family time. Turn the fucking phone off, okay? And when it comes to discipline, we as parents need to understand that we are not our children's friends. We are their parents. It's our job to educate them, to discipline them in the best way we can, and to watch them fail so that they pick themselves back up, so they learn from their mistakes, to get them ready for this jungle that is life.
Yeah.
Because it is getting harder and harder out there, and this is survival of the fittest. This is not we're a capitalist country. This is not a socialist country. You need to work your ass off to survive in America.
Yeah.
And if you don't have those tendencies and those skills and that mindset and drive, you will fail.
Yeah, it's terrifying out there, and just the screen time thing. I saw something terrifying online about like kids that are like sleeping, that are on the phone a lot, and they're like not walking in their sleep, but they're like swiping in their sleep. And there's like one video of a kid who's like put on timeout clearly, and like he's trying to like soothe himself, but like bawling at the same time. And he's just got an imaginary phone, and he's just like swiping through stuff on an imaginary phone and, like, in his crib while he's just like bawling his eyes out. And it's like it's toxic. It's crazy, you know. And I really like your point about the traditional values, and I think that's something that we've really gotten away from as a society is no one respects the stay-at-home mom anymore, at least in California. And it's terrifying to me. And I'm all for women having the right to go out and work and own their own wage. I think that is a great thing that we've done, and feminism has been a great thing for that. But what feminism has also done is devalued the stay-at-home mother who dedicates her whole life and all her time to raising those kids and making sure that they are becoming the proper adults that society needs. That is almost frowned upon, especially in the Silicon Valley, the Bay Area. Every woman is so career focused that they don't want to, like, family is just kind of like an afterthought of like, maybe I'll get to that, but I'm still going to work full time at the same point. Yeah. And I think both choices are admirable. And I know in the Bay Area, we need two incomes most of the time to even get by. But I think a lot more respect needs to be paid to women that decide to be
a stay-at-home mom, put their career on hold.
Exactly, because it is, I think, one of the most admirable things that anyone can do. And raising kids is a full-time job in itself.
Each, if you have multiple kids, that's a job for each kid.
Yeah,
because each kid is different, emotionally, learning-wise, and their habits are different. And like, I saw a mom at a park, when I took my kids, and this lady had 4 kids. And she was like a general. She had them in, don't do this, don't do that. She was watching them like a hawk.
Oh, yeah.
Taking her time. God bless this woman,
well,
dude.
But it's also amazing to me, too. Because, like, you and I could do that, but we would do it as, like, a harsh, like, general, like, this. Yeah. And, like, women have a power that is just
it can be very empathetic.
It's soft,
but also...
It can be soft. It can be nurturing, but they can have, like, an authority with it, too, while still not being, like, a dictatorship about it. They can get the obedience out of children in such a way. They can distract them. They're so clever with that. It just blows my mind. My hat's off every single time to the ladies that are parents and stay-at-home moms and taking care of your kids out there. It's tough out there.
And the stay-at-home, because there's also stay-at-home dads now, too.
Yeah.
So you got to give a shout-out to them, but especially the moms. But, if we don't get a hold of this culturally on the societal side, this is one of the things that will kill the American empire. Because every generation... the way we raise them, educate them, discipline them, it helps the next generation succeed. And it is like a cycle. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And if the next generation is not prepared for the problems in this country and in the world, then we're going to fail as a country.
Yeah.
And we're going to fail as an empire. And our empire, to be quite frank, with just in general, not just this is one societal issue, but we are starting to crumble from within because of our problems. And like every empire... that has ruled on planet Earth throughout time. All good things come to an end, but we're having self-inflicted wounds. Yeah, we're making this process faster.
Yeah, we're definitely trying to. I mean, like I think it's a media thing for sure, where it's just like media sells just negative stuff. Yeah. Media never sells positive stuff. And so it's always the pursuit of, no matter how good society actually is, the media has to find a negative thing to put up there. So it's constantly chasing more and more little things that they're going to turn into divisive issues all of a sudden. When realistically, we probably agree on most everything itself. But one thing I would also blame it on is like you're saying, the screens and the tablets and everything, but also the social media aspect of it too.
Social media is the worst.
Like, I think we're going to look back at this time in society and see how we used our phones and our social media and the addiction that's coming from that. The same way we look back and go, holy shit, Coca-Cola had cocaine in it at one point in time. Like, that's mind-blowing to me to think that Coca-Cola had cocaine in it. But I think
I wish I would have had some with the cocaine in it.
Well, hey, in 60 years though, I think they're gonna look back at the same thing and be like, oh my gosh, they were using social media like that. They were using their phones, 10 plus hours a day, just for the hell of it. And it's like, it's clearly an addiction. It's clearly an addiction that all of us in society have just agreed to ignore and to not confront. And it's hard to be that parent that doesn't give your kid the phone early, that holds off on that, you know? Like it's going to be tough to say like, no, I don't want my kid having Instagram, and while all the other friends have an Instagram, you know, that's terrifying. But Zuckerberg doesn't let his kid use it.
Yeah, because he knows exactly what the problems are.
Yeah.
So, to wrap up this segment, I think, we talk about media. I think media in this country, from Hollywood to social media platforms to the news outlets, just the general media itself, they are one of the main reasons why this cultural phenomenon is happening.
Yeah.
They are at fault.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And these corporations like the Apples, the Googles, the Meta, Facebooks, whatever the fuck they call themselves now.
Don't forget the BlackRocks of the world, but yeah.
Them too. They're all at fault because they want this chaos. They want people to become addicted to these things and become zombies where they're addicted to the phone, and, they want these people to become like modern day just peasants.
Well, you know what Netflix said, right?
Yeah.
Netflix said that their biggest competition isn't some other streaming service. Their biggest competition is sleep.
Yeah.
They're literally trying to see how we can get people to stay up as late as possible, streaming and binging stuff. Yeah. And it's insane that that's what things have become. And it's wild, If you stare at a screen until 10 o'clock, you're going to have a hard time falling asleep anyway. So it's might as well keep staring at that screen.
Well, and the thing is, too, like, we need to get back to simple things.
Traditional values.
We need traditional values and get the child, the kid, the young teenager out there, breathe in the air, go for a hike, build something.
Well, that's another thing.
Get out there.
It's like when you and I were...
Drop this and get rid of the video games. Well, just throw this away. I'm going to throw this somewhere.
I don't play video games. I never have been a huge video game guy, but it's a... crazy thing for me though, because like if the kids are on the tablets and playing the video games all the time, how are they burning their energy that they have throughout the day?
They have to do it.
Because like you and I, we were running around all the time outside.
Pick up street football.
Oh yeah,
hockey, basketball.
We went outside and we ran
we were tired
for 10 hours straight, and then we came back in, and then we got some dinner, and then we went to bed. Like we were exhausted at that point. Yeah, so it's just amazing how static and stagnant everyone's becoming, and I think you're right on the point too with the apps and everything like that. They're all designed to try to keep us on the app, and that's the one thing I've said, like back when we did the dating one, the dating apps,
they want you on there.
They don't want you just finding the love of your life and never downloading those apps again. They just want to keep cycling it through. They want you on there. And so that's another reason why it's become a fast and loose hookup culture rather than some type of traditional values that a good nuclear family was founded upon. So sad times. Sad
times, guys. Sad times. But I think this is where we're going to wrap up. Cowboy, any last thoughts?
No, just just keep those traditional values. Gen Z, you're going to be our saviors, you guys.
Let's hope. Yeah. Let's hope. All right, folks, take care and have a great day.
Thanks.